Protecting yourself from being blamed, exploited, betrayed, and manipulated by others is crucial. The journey towards self-preservation begins with understanding the core principles of human interaction and adopting strategies that foster strength and resilience. This guide explores practical steps inspired by Stoic wisdom, empowering you to navigate life's complexities with clarity and confidence. 1. Don't reveal your vulnerabilities. One of the fundamental principles in avoiding blame, exploitation, betrayal, and manipulation is not revealing your vulnerabilities. While this concept might seem straightforward, it is essential for self-preservation and maintaining respect. When we expose our weaknesses, we open ourselves up to potential harm, because not everyone we encounter is trustworthy or has good intentions. Even with kind-hearted individuals, there's no guarantee that sharing our vulnerabilities won't lead to trouble. Maintaining strength and not giving others the tools to hurt us is crucial. Consider someone who openly shares their family's financial struggles with everyone they meet. Imagine a man who constantly talks about his poverty, debts, and financial hardships. 3 potential outcomes might unfold. First, the listener may perceive him as negative and always complaining, leading them to distance themselves, which can result in social isolation. Second, and more dangerously, is exploitation. Knowing his financial desperation, someone might see an opportunity to manipulate him, proposing shady investment schemes promising high returns. Normally cautious, he might accept such offers due to his desperation for quick relief, leading to deceit and further hardship. The third, though less common, is genuine empathy and assistance from someone who truly feels sorry for him and offers help. However, the risks of revealing vulnerabilities often outweigh the potential benefits. Given these possibilities, it is wise to keep personal struggles private unless you are sure of the other person's trustworthiness and goodwill. Maintaining this discretion protects you from being seen as a burden, disliked, or worse, exploited. For instance, if you find yourself emotionally fragile, yearning for love, and fearful of rejection, sharing these deep-seated insecurities with others can make you a target. People who realize you're emotionally dependent may exploit this weakness, using your need for affection as leverage to ask for favors or borrow money without genuine interest in your friendship. They exploit your emotional dependence to control you. While many argue that authenticity and expressing struggles invite empathy, the reality is that a significant percentage of people will take advantage of your disclosed vulnerabilities rather than offer support. To avoid exploitation and maintain respect, refrain from revealing your vulnerabilities indiscriminately. If you have a trustworthy and kind friend who has proven their loyalty over time, sharing can be safe and beneficial. However, don't make the mistake of revealing your weaknesses to just anyone. When you expose too much of yourself, you give others the tools to betray you. Many find themselves saying, "I didn't expect you to be like this. Why did you betray me?" Because they trusted the wrong person. While betrayal reflects the betrayer's character, it also partly results from your openness. In modern life, this principle is even more relevant, with social media making oversharing a norm. This can lead to emotional exploitation by those who don't have your best interests at heart. Keeping your vulnerabilities close and sharing them selectively is a form of self-preservation. By doing so, you protect yourself from those who might use your honesty against you. Remember, the goal isn't to become closed off or untrusting, but to be discerning about whom you allow into your inner circle. As Epictetus advised, no man is free who is not master of himself. In conclusion, maintaining a balance between authenticity and discretion is essential. Protect your emotional well-being by not revealing your vulnerabilities to everyone. This way you can build stronger, more respectful relationships while safeguarding yourself from exploitation and betrayal. By applying this wisdom, you arm yourself against those who seek to take advantage of your kindness, ensuring that you navigate life's relationships with the strength and dignity of a true Stoic. 2. Understand your limitations. One of the most critical steps in protecting yourself from being blamed, exploited, betrayed, or manipulated by others is to understand your limitations. When we try to help others with issues beyond our expertise, we risk causing more harm than good and exposing ourselves to blame. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of knowing one's limits and strengths. By acknowledging what we are capable of and what we are not, we can avoid the pitfalls of overcommitting and underdelivering. This self-awareness is not a sign of weakness, but a hallmark of wisdom and prudence. So what should you do when someone asks for help in an area where you lack confidence or expertise? The smart and wise move is to either politely decline or refer them to someone more suited for the task. This approach not only shields you from potential failure and blame, but also ensures that the person seeking help receives the best possible assistance. Think of it this way: would you want a surgeon to perform a complex operation if they were only trained as a general practitioner? Of course not. Recognizing and honoring our limitations fosters trust and respect in our relationships. It's important to remember that declining to help in areas where you lack expertise doesn't make you less capable or less caring, it makes you responsible. As Seneca wisely noted, it is quality rather than quantity that matters. Providing help within your realm of expertise ensures that your contributions are meaningful and effective. This approach protects you from being blamed for outcomes beyond your control and reinforces your integrity. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you felt compelled to help, even though you knew it was beyond your capability? Reflecting on these experiences can offer valuable insights. By setting clear boundaries and understanding your limitations, you safeguard your reputation and ensure that your efforts are always constructive. Moreover, this practice allows you to direct your energy and resources toward areas where you can truly make a difference. As you move forward, ask yourself how you can better recognize and respect your limitations to improve your interactions and contributions. This introspection is key to avoiding blame and exploitation. Remember, it's not about saying no to helping others, it's about knowing when to say no to ensure that your help is both genuine and effective. Adopting this mindset not only protects you but also elevates the quality of support you provide to others. Understanding your limitations and acting accordingly is a powerful way to avoid being blamed, exploited, betrayed, or manipulated by others. It allows you to offer the best of your abilities without overstepping your bounds. By embracing this wisdom, you cultivate trust, respect, and effectiveness in your relationships. So next time you're asked for help, take a moment to assess whether it's within your expertise. If not, remember that referring someone to a more capable person is also an act of help. How will you apply this principle in your daily life? 3. Avoid the trap of constant availability. Being constantly available for others can lead to burnout and resentment. It can also result in being blamed when things don't go as planned, as people might start to expect too much from you. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of self-care and maintaining one's well-being. By learning to say no and prioritizing our own needs, we can prevent others from taking advantage of our time and energy. Consider the story of Sarah, a modern professional who was always the go-to person at her job, never saying no to any request regardless of her workload. Over time, she became overwhelmed and exhausted. Her colleagues began to expect her constant availability, and when she finally had to refuse due to sheer exhaustion, she was met with frustration and blame from her team. Sarah realized that her inability to set boundaries was not only harming her well-being but also affecting her relationships at work. To avoid falling into this trap, it's crucial to balance our availability with our own personal and professional commitments. This not only protects us from being overburdened but also ensures that when we do help, we can do so effectively and willingly. By maintaining clear boundaries, we preserve our mental health and can contribute positively without resentment. In a world where constant connectivity is often seen as a virtue, it can be challenging to step back and prioritize self-care. However, doing so is essential for our long-term well-being. Think about your own life. How often do you find yourself saying yes to requests out of a sense of obligation rather than genuine willingness? What impact does this have on your stress levels and overall happiness? Balancing availability with personal commitments requires practice and assertiveness. It involves recognizing our limits and being honest with ourselves and others about what we can reasonably handle. This doesn't mean we stop helping others, it means we help in a sustainable way that doesn't compromise our well-being. Consider this: if you are constantly drained, how effective can you really be in supporting those around you? Setting boundaries also communicates self-respect and can lead to healthier relationships. When we respect our own needs, others are more likely to do the same. It's about creating a culture of mutual respect where everyone's time and energy are valued. One practical approach is to schedule specific times for helping others and stick to them. This way you can offer your support without it encroaching on your personal or professional life. As you navigate the demands of daily life, remember the importance of self-care and balance. What strategies can you implement today to start setting better boundaries? How can you communicate these boundaries effectively to those around you? By making these changes, you not only protect your well-being but also set an example for others to follow. The lesson here is clear: balance your availability with your personal commitments to avoid burnout and prevent others from taking advantage of your time. By doing so, you can maintain your well-being and be more present and effective in both your personal and professional life. Marcus Aurelius' timeless wisdom reminds us that taking care of ourselves is not selfish but necessary for living a balanced and fulfilling life. What steps will you take today to ensure you're not falling into the trap of constant availability? How can you make self-care a priority in your daily routine? If you've made it this far, you're a true guardian of your boundaries. Drop a comment saying, "I stand strong," to show you're committed to protecting yourself from blame, exploitation, betrayal, and deceit. Stick around, the best is yet to come. 4. Navigate trust wisely. Trust is essential for meaningful relationships, but it can be a double-edged sword if not handled wisely. Blindly trusting others can lead to deep disappointment and profound hurt. Therefore, it's crucial to observe and understand the intentions and actions of those around us before placing our trust in them. This requires a mindful approach, paying close attention to past behaviors, and being cautious with those who have not yet proven themselves trustworthy. For instance, someone who has consistently shown loyalty and integrity over time is more likely to be deserving of your trust than someone who has displayed dishonesty or unreliability. By being selective about whom we trust, we create a safeguard for ourselves against potential harm. This doesn't mean living in constant suspicion, but rather building trust gradually. Each positive interaction serves as a building block, reinforcing the relationship and establishing a strong foundation of mutual respect and reliability. Trust should not be an all-or-nothing proposition. It is a continuous process of giving and receiving, of proving and being proven. Just as a fortress is built stone by stone, trust is constructed through consistent positive actions. In today's fast-paced and often impersonal world, it can be challenging to gauge who is truly trustworthy. However, by staying vigilant and not rushing to place our trust in others, we can avoid the pitfalls of betrayal and exploitation. This approach also involves being honest with ourselves about our own boundaries and values, ensuring that we do not compromise them in the process of building trust. Trust is not just about protecting ourselves, it's also about creating meaningful connections. When we trust wisely, we foster relationships that are genuine and supportive, enriching our lives and providing us with a sense of security and belonging. So remember the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and be cautious and discerning in whom you trust. By doing so, you not only protect yourself from potential harm, but also pave the way for deeper, more authentic relationships. 5. Be mindful of flattery. Flattery can often be a cunning tool used by others to manipulate and exploit us. Being aware of this is crucial for protecting ourselves from potential harm. Marcus Aurelius wisely cautioned against being easily swayed by superficial praise, highlighting the importance of discernment in our interactions. When someone showers you with excessive or insincere praise, it can be a red flag signaling their intention to manipulate or exploit you. Genuine compliments are indeed valuable, but it's essential to differentiate between heartfelt praise and deceptive flattery. How can we do this effectively? One way is to develop a strong sense of self-worth and confidence in our abilities. When we truly know our value, we become less susceptible to the allure of empty flattery. Ask yourself, how often do you encounter praise that feels exaggerated or insincere? By maintaining a healthy skepticism and not allowing ourselves to be overly influenced by others' opinions, we can better navigate these interactions. It's also helpful to observe the behavior of the person offering the praise. Do their actions align with their words? Are they consistent in their support and encouragement, or do they only appear when they need something from you? These are important questions to consider. Reflecting on past experiences where you might have been flattered and then let down can also provide valuable insights. How did you feel in those situations? What could you have done differently to protect yourself? By learning from these experiences, we can develop a keener sense of judgment and avoid repeating the same mistakes. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." This quote underscores the power we hold over our own self-perception. When we understand our worth, we become resilient to external attempts at manipulation. Additionally, surrounding ourselves with people who offer constructive and genuine feedback rather than mere flattery can help us grow and strengthen our sense of self. So how do you handle flattery in your life? Do you accept it blindly, or do you take a moment to assess its sincerity? Engaging in this kind of self-reflection and questioning can lead to greater self-awareness and protection against exploitation. Remember, while it's natural to appreciate praise, it's also important to stay grounded and not let it cloud your judgment. Being mindful of flattery is a vital step in safeguarding ourselves from being blamed, exploited, betrayed, and manipulated by others. By approaching compliments with a discerning eye and focusing on our internal validation, we can enjoy genuine praise without falling prey to manipulation. This mindfulness helps us build stronger, more authentic relationships and shields us from the potential harm of deceptive flattery. How will you apply this awareness in your daily interactions? Embracing this mindset can lead to more fulfilling and trustworthy connections, ultimately enhancing your well-being and resilience. 6. Practice self-reliance. Practicing self-reliance is a powerful strategy to avoid being blamed, exploited, betrayed, or manipulated by others. By developing our own skills and capabilities, we not only reduce our dependence on others, but also bolster our resilience. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of inner strength and self-sufficiency, teaching us that investing in our personal growth and development can significantly minimize our vulnerability. When we rely heavily on others, we place ourselves at risk of being let down, which can lead to blame and disappointment. Instead, by becoming more self-reliant, we take control of our lives and outcomes. Imagine you are embarking on a hiking trip. If you rely solely on a guide and their expertise, you might find yourself in a difficult situation if the guide makes a mistake or leaves unexpectedly. However, if you take the time to learn about navigation, survival skills, and the terrain, you're better prepared to handle unexpected challenges independently. This doesn't mean you should never seek help. It means you should strive to be as self-sufficient as possible, enhancing your ability to handle situations on your own. Self-reliance empowers us, giving us the confidence to tackle challenges without fearing failure or exploitation. When we invest in ourselves, we build a foundation of strength that others cannot easily shake. This foundation acts as a safeguard, protecting us from being blamed for failures that occur when we overly depend on others. Think of a work project. If you rely entirely on your teammates and they fail to deliver, you might be held accountable. However, if you develop the necessary skills and knowledge, you can contribute more effectively and reduce the risk of blame. Consider the story of Mara, a young entrepreneur who decided to start her own business. Initially, she relied heavily on her partners for various aspects of the business, such as marketing and finance. However, she soon realized that this dependency left her vulnerable to their mistakes and unreliability. Determined to gain control, Mara took courses in marketing and finance, enhancing her knowledge and skills. Over time, she became more self-reliant, making informed decisions and reducing her dependence on others. This shift not only empowered her but also protected her business from potential failures and blame. How can you apply the principle of self-reliance in your own life? What areas do you feel overly dependent on others, and how can you start developing the skills and knowledge to become more self-sufficient? By asking yourself these questions, you initiate a journey toward greater independence and resilience. Remember, self-reliance does not mean isolation. It means strengthening your capabilities to handle life's challenges more effectively. Cultivating self-reliance is essential to protect ourselves from blame and exploitation. By investing in our personal growth and development, we reduce our dependence on others and build a solid foundation of resilience. This approach empowers us to navigate life's challenges with confidence and control, safeguarding us from the pitfalls of over-reliance on others. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, our inner strength is our greatest asset, so take charge of your growth, invest in yourself, and embrace the power of self-reliance. The lesson here is clear: the more self-reliant you are, the less likely you are to be blamed, exploited, betrayed, or manipulated by others. If you've reached this point and are still engaged, kindly take a moment to pause and comment below with "I protect myself." This simple act will indicate that you understand the importance of guarding against blame, exploitation, betrayal, and deceit. Now, let's continue on this journey together, embracing the wisdom of the Stoics to lead more balanced, fulfilling lives. 7. The dangers of unsolicited help. In human interactions, offering unsolicited help can often lead to unintended consequences, such as being blamed or exploited. While it might seem noble and well-intentioned to provide assistance or advice without being asked, this act can easily be perceived as intrusive or presumptuous. If people value their autonomy, and unsolicited aid might not align with their actual needs or desires, causing frustration or even resentment. This is echoed in the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who emphasized the importance of self-control and understanding one's boundaries. By respecting others' autonomy and refraining from offering unsolicited help, we can maintain healthier relationships and avoid the pitfalls of being blamed when things go awry. Offering help only when explicitly asked ensures that your assistance is genuinely needed and appreciated, thereby preventing potential misunderstandings and exploitation. It's important to recognize that the desire to help should be tempered with an awareness of timing and context. In modern life, where personal boundaries are increasingly valued, understanding when to offer help and when to hold back is crucial. Consider the ancient Stoic principle articulated by Epictetus: we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. This teaches us the value of listening and observing before acting. By being a supportive presence and waiting for explicit requests for help, we show respect for others' agency and decisions, thus fostering trust and mutual respect. In today's fast-paced world, the pressure to be constantly proactive can sometimes lead us to overstep boundaries, even with the best intentions. However, true wisdom lies in recognizing the right moment to act. As Seneca wisely noted, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Offering help in the right manner requires courage and discernment. Ultimately, the lesson learned here is to avoid offering unsolicited help. Instead, wait for requests to ensure your assistance is genuinely needed and appreciated. By doing so, you not only protect yourself from being blamed or exploited, but also enhance the quality of your relationships, building a foundation of respect and understanding. In the long run, this approach nurtures a more harmonious and balanced interaction with others, reinforcing the timeless wisdom that less can often be more when it comes to helping others. 8. Cultivate emotional detachment. Emotional detachment is a powerful strategy to avoid being blamed, exploited, betrayed, or manipulated by others. By maintaining a degree of emotional distance, we can protect ourselves from becoming overly entangled in the emotions and problems of others. This doesn't mean becoming cold or unfeeling. Rather, it involves developing a balanced perspective that allows us to support others without losing our own emotional stability. Emotional detachment can be seen as a form of emotional intelligence, where we recognize and manage our own emotions while understanding and respecting the emotions of others. This approach aligns with the teachings of Stoicism, which emphasize the importance of inner tranquility and rational thinking. By cultivating emotional detachment, we can remain calm and composed even in difficult situations and make decisions based on reason rather than emotional impulses. Consider a scenario where a friend constantly comes to you with their problems. While it is good to be supportive, becoming too emotionally involved can drain your energy and cloud your judgment. If their problems start to affect your mental health in daily life, it's a sign that emotional detachment is necessary. By setting boundaries and maintaining a healthy emotional distance, you can continue to be a supportive friend without compromising your own well-being. One practical way to cultivate emotional detachment is through mindfulness and meditation. These practices help us become more aware of our emotions and thoughts, allowing us to observe them without becoming overwhelmed. Another method is to establish clear boundaries and communicate them effectively. This ensures that others understand your limits and respect your need for personal space. Emotional detachment also involves recognizing that you cannot solve everyone's problems. Sometimes people need to find their own solutions and learn from their experiences. By stepping back and allowing them to take responsibility, you empower them to grow and develop resilience. This approach not only protects you from being exploited or blamed, but also fosters healthier, more balanced relationships. In conclusion, cultivating emotional detachment is essential for maintaining emotional health and protecting yourself from being blamed, exploited, betrayed, or manipulated by others. It allows you to support others without losing your own stability, fostering relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. As you navigate your daily interactions, remember the wisdom of the Stoics and strive to maintain a balanced, composed mindset. How will you implement emotional detachment in your life to protect your well-being and enhance your relationships? 9. The power of selective silence. Selective silence is a powerful tool for avoiding blame, exploitation, betrayal, and manipulation. By choosing when and what to speak about, you can control the flow of information and protect yourself from potential harm. This concept is rooted in the wisdom of Stoicism, which values discretion and mindful communication. In today's world, where oversharing is common, the practice of selective silence can be particularly valuable. It involves being mindful of the information you share and with whom you share it. Not every thought or detail needs to be spoken aloud, especially if it can be used against you. By carefully considering your words, you can avoid giving others ammunition to exploit your vulnerabilities. Consider a workplace scenario where colleagues are discussing a new project. If you have reservations or concerns, it might be wise to assess the situation and the people involved before voicing your opinions. By doing so, you can gauge the dynamics and choose the right moment to speak up, ensuring that your input is valued and not dismissed or used against you. Selective silence also applies to personal relationships. Sharing too much too soon with someone you don't fully trust can lead to betrayal or manipulation. Instead, take the time to build trust and observe the other person's behavior before opening up about sensitive matters. This cautious approach can protect you from potential emotional harm. Practicing selective silence requires self-awareness and self-control. It involves recognizing when silence is more powerful than words and using this strategy to navigate complex social interactions. It doesn't mean suppressing your voice entirely, but rather choosing your moments wisely and speaking with intention. One technique to develop selective silence is to pause before responding, giving yourself time to think about the potential consequences of your words. Another approach is to practice active listening, focusing more on understanding others rather than constantly sharing your own thoughts. This not only enhances your relationships, but also helps you gather valuable information that can inform your decisions. In conclusion, the power of selective silence lies in its ability to protect you from blame, exploitation, betrayal, and manipulation. By being mindful of your words and choosing when to speak, you can maintain control over your personal and professional interactions. embrace the wisdom of selective silence and use it to navigate life's challenges with grace and discretion. How will you apply this principle to your daily interactions to safeguard your well-being and integrity?